Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Lisa's Love and Light. How are you guys doing? I am live today. I know I've been uploading videos all week, but I've been busy, very busy, guys. Let me turn this down a little bit so you can hear me. I have been working on some videos to do, uh, and not only that, let's see. I've been working on a project and I have been finishing up a new website basically, and it's done now. And just it's just been a lot of changing things, doing things, putting things here, putting things there. All of this kind of stuff I've been working on, and so it's completed now. So before we get into this topic of discussion today, I want to let you guys know that invite all of you to the new website. And it's about healing. So, where you can find it is if you go to the community page, you'll see a link there for the new website. And it's going to give information about the healing and everything here. So, please go through it and you get to learn more about me. There's an about category. There's a lot of stuff there. Not too much stuff because I didn't want it to be too long. I want to, capture people's attention. So please take a look at the community page when you have time. Also, please keep in mind that this channel, we're here to uplift and to encourage and never to bring anyone down or bring toxicity or anything like that, because we have enough of that in this world today, right, guys? I mean, everywhere you look, there's craziness going on right now, and so we're here to build up instead of tearing down. um so anyway, that's one thing I needed to say. And the other thing is, I'm not a counselor, I'm not a social worker or a therapist. I'm just somebody who's gone through a lot of trials, pain, tribulations, you name it, guys. I've been through it. And I talk about some ways through my personal experiences of grief and pain and etc. of how I overcame it instead of succumbing to the depression, the pain, the trials and tribulations. I did a video probably yesterday or the day before about biting through these challenges. Bite through, crawl through, and that's what I had to do. And I'm talking from personal experiences. So don't give up on yourself. Your mental and physical health means everything. Because if you're not okay, you can't take care of yourself or anything else around you. So please keep moving forward. And I know it's not easy, but it's well worth it, because you will start to see the results. So, guys, with that being said, um, the topic of discussion today is the power of self love. The power of self love. When you love yourself, really truly love you, um, and I'm not talking about narcissistic love or being in love with yourself, but truly love you, um, you're gonna things change. You start to look at things from a different perspective. Healing leads to self care, and then self care eventually leads to self love. And that's my experience so far on this journey to heal. Um, because you know, things seem to happen in steps. When you self love, you become unbothered with the noise around you. Before I started to heal, I was overcome. I mean, not overcome, overwhelmed with the gossip, the malicious lies going on about me, saying things that I did that I would never do, trying to make me out into a negative stereotype. It just went on and on and on. When I really made that choice and that decision that I was going to heal all of this. I didn't know how. Like I said, none of these things come with an instruction book, but I knew somehow I was going to overcome these things instead of succumbing. And then all the doors felt like it was closing in. And what I did is I went to God, prayer, meditation, and also listening to my intuition, because none of this is easy, guys. And listen to your intuition, because it's going to lead you down the right path. You ever get that feeling within you that something is wrong, something is not quite right? Why are these things happening? What's happening here? Listen to that, because that's your intuition telling you that something's not right, something's wrong here. And what I normally do is listen to it, and I take a step back so that I can see what's happening. Because sometimes we don't see things. We are imperfect, we make mistakes, we're not paying attention, whatever it is, but the intuition will go off like a red flag, letting you know that there's something wrong here. Pay attention to that. Never ignore that. I know I don't anymore. Um, Healing and self love will change your mindset for the better. I used to have this really low self esteem because of being around toxic individuals, um, verbal abuse from it, and just a lot of where my self-esteem was at the point of zero. And so it took me a long time to build it up, guys, and it wasn't easy. And as I tried to build and build and build, I had people coming against me left and right. All these people who I set boundaries with, and then eventually cut off, block, and delete. They were mad about it, and then here rumors, all types of stuff. One of the things I can tell you, that if those things happen and it's not true, it's like a distraction to try to distract your focus on a healing process. Because one of the things that made me really upset about it is people believing it without having any proof of these things. And I'm a type of person, I would never believe anything about anybody unless I confront the source. Because people say anything when somebody's on a hate train, jealousy, whatever it is. And I had to bite and crawl and persevere through all of that. I mean, people were going so far to the point where they were trying to set me up for failure by trying to get me to engage in things that could get me locked up and things like that. I just totally did I learned to do the Simon and Garfunkel song, The Sound of Silence. I just would not respond, would not, because people can't do things to you unless you engage in it. And that's another thing I've learned. If you're igniting the fire is going to burn people. But I didn't ignite the fire. I diffused it with my silence. Your silence doesn't mean weakness. Your silence means that you're not engaging in the noise, the toxicity. You're focused on your healing, your mental and physical health. And you continue to do that. I know I do, until eventually it's like climbing that mountain. At first, you hear all this noise, echoing, etc. And as you climb higher and higher, you don't hear any of that anymore. That's how I tuned out the noise. Just go silent. If people want to believe the lies and etc. and so forth, let them. That means they don't belong in my space, because if they're going to believe things without having proof of it, without going to the source, then they don't need to be in my space. So what that means, setting boundaries, setting stronger boundaries, and then cutting off, block, delete if necessary, so that I don't have to deal with that. And then I stayed in prayer a lot with God, asking God to help me with this, help me with that, because they're doing this, they're doing that. And guys, it was real bad for a long time what these folks were doing, because all these folks that were in my life for a while, I thought these people were really my friends and had my back and supported me, until 2020. I realized that wasn't the case at all. And it was heartbreaking, devastating to address the elephant in the room and to see behind the mask that these people were wearing. It just tore at my soul. But what I did, I went to God, asking God to help me, to give me the strength to move forward. And also, as I take a step, please, God, help me by taking steps behind the scene. And that's what He did. Every time I took a step, even if it's a half a step, I made forth the effort. God did 2, 3, and 4 steps behind the scenes. And I started to see evidence of this every time I took a step. So it wasn't my imagination or et cetera or so forth. It really was happening. And I said, if God believes in me enough to do that, then I need to keep going. I need to keep moving forward, because that means I mean something to Him. It doesn't matter about the other people, what they were doing. It matters to me what God thought. And I continue to move forward, continue to pray. And the metaphor I use all the time is like buying a box of puzzles, right? Buying a puzzle. And then you open up the box, you got 1,000 pieces there. You don't know what the picture is. You don't know what the background is until you sit down, take your time, and start putting the pieces together one by one, little by little. And guys, as you do that, you start to see what the picture is in the background. Oh, it's a bear sitting under a tree by the lake, or it's ducks in a lake or something. But you start to see the picture, and that's what I had to do. I had to do the work, the hard work, addressing the elephant in the room. Why was I so codependent on people who didn't care anything about me? Why was I so subservient to these individuals? Why was I allowing these folks to use me like a doormat? And then when I did that pro and con list suggested by my therapist, and when the cons outweighed the pros, I started to see, hey, I'm an overgiver. I got to change this for the better because I'm being taken advantage of in all directions. So I had to work on it, cry it out. I was at the gym all the time, working out, to get rid of the pain. All these things are an outlet for the pain. Music. Before I jumped on here, I was listening to a playlist of music. Have music on now. I turned it down a little so you guys can hear me. And I do that because music heals my soul, guys. And also things being in nature by the water, um, and just doing things to uplift your spirit. Guys, you don't have to stay in toxic connections, whether it's a best friend, whether it's this, you can always set strong boundaries because you matter. Never allow anyone to tell you you don't matter, and people get caught up in the, how do I say this, guys? People get caught up in things that don't really matter in this world. I don't like someone and you don't have a valid reason. But if you don't like someone, the best course of action is to stay away from that person, not to try to bring hell and all types of problems and toxicity to their life just because you don't like someone. I mean, there's people I'm not too fond of either, but I'm not in the background trying to make things negatively happen in their life, and people get caught up in these things, oh, how you wear your hair, how you speak, how you walk, how you talk, how you do this, how you do that. And all those things, God judges by our intentions. What are your intentions? What are you doing to improve your life for the better? And mental health matters, guys, because so much is going on in this world right now. And if we are engaging and looking every day and seeing what toxic thing is playing out, it can really affect your physical and mental health. That's why it's always important to take time on a daily basis, an hour, 2 hours, just for yourself, just me time, and it's not being self-absorbed or selfish. It is necessary for your mental and physical health and as well as your growth. you know if you don't love yourself and self-care, how do you expect someone else to give real love to you instead of toxic love if you don't take care of yourself? That's so important. The new way that I respond to all the toxicity and negativity is my silence. I don't have to engage in it. I know I'm not doing the things that was going around, the rumors or whatever. But I leave that to God. Let God take care of it, because you know what? He can do it better than I can. I need to stay focused, and we need to stay focused on healing, building ourselves up instead of allowing the toxicity to tear our lives apart. Doing things for your highest good. If people are in your life bringing toxicity to your front door, bringing drama and toxicity to your front door, set strong boundaries. Do things for your highest good. These things are not for your highest good. So set some strong boundaries. And for me, when they keep jumping and skipping and disrespecting the boundaries, I disconnect by cutting off, blocking, and deleting, and I padlock those doors forever, because they're showing you the disrespect. Making better decisions in your life, choosing wisely instead of impulsively, is what I've learned so far as I continue to stay on this journey to heal. Instead of making impulsive decisions, I sit, reflect, and meditate and think about the decision and weigh it out instead of just jumping um, head in. And I take my time and I listen to my intuition. Guys, listen to your intuition. Male or female, we both have that. Just because you're a guy, we all have an intuition. And if something doesn't feel right to the point it's making you sick on your stomach and you're feeling some kind of way, let me give you an example. Let's say somebody invites you to go to a dance hall somewhere. There's some kind of special celebration or event going on. You get dressed to go, and before you go, you start getting this feeling about it. I mean, really like a punch in your stomach kind of feeling, that maybe I shouldn't go to this event. That's your intuition telling you that something is wrong. You may not know the details of what it might be, but I would suggest to listen to your intuition and follow that. I would just say, for me, if my intuition was doing that, okay, I can't make it. I'm sorry, I can't make this. Because these are signs from your intuition, and please listen to that. Never ignore your intuition. It's so important. And I just feel a whole lot better, guys. I lost some weight. I think I gained back a few pounds, but anyway, for the most part, I've lost a lot. Um, I stay in the gym, you know, a couple of times a week. And I changed things in my life. I don't eat a whole lot of stuff that I was doing before. If I do, I have, like, in moderation instead of overeating, and I try to, a lot of teas, a lot of these teas and things I drink are healthy teas that I order, things that are healthy detox teas. Do things that's going to keep your body, your mental and physical health okay. As you continue to do that and take care of yourself, you're going to feel better, guys. And you're going to realize that as you do that and you ask God to help you, He's going to help you close doors to situations and connections that no longer serve you. That's not for your highest good. And as He do that, you can go through the new doors over here, new beginnings. He's got a whole lot of good things behind those doors, and I'm talking from experience, because it's been hard, guys. I mean, the grief of the losses and people, the betrayals and everything I had to deal with. But what doesn't break you will make you stronger, and it will put you in a place where you can turn that pain into power into purpose into paying it forward, not only to help yourself, people, but to help others who are going through things, because sometimes people just don't know where to start. And I'm going to tell you guys, I started with therapy, and that's where everything else came from. The creating, the developing, the finding ways to just keep my space in a place of peace, keep me in a place of peace mentally and physically. And I had to give up a lot to get here. And sometimes that's what we have to do in order to be in a place of peace. And for me, my peace is priceless. It's not for sale. And I would not give it up for any form of toxicity, and it's important. And people that you bring into your life, new connections, if it's supposed to be, things are going to click and the way it's supposed to. It's not going to be all this drama and toxicity and fighting, arguing, all this stuff. Those things are not for your highest good. People and situations coming into your life at this point is supposed to enhance your life for the better, not destroy it. So guys, keep these things in mind when you're making decisions. Look at the pros of it and see how it's going to benefit your life before you make an impulsive decision. That's the message today, guys. Go out. I've been out most of the day and it's beautiful out today. Really a nice day. If you guys get a chance, go to the beach. I know Sunday is going to be hot. It's going to be 90 degrees. By the water, or watch the sunset by the beach. Do things, music, have some jazz on a little bit. Do things that's going to uplift your spirit. Comedy shows, whatever it is that brings joy to your soul. It's good for your mental and physical health. Remember that every day on a daily basis, make sure you're doing something for you, even though you have a busy schedule. That's important. That's the message today, guys. Go and enjoy your weekend. I'm going to enjoy mine. And then Monday, I'll be back here. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. That way you'll know when I'm here and when I'm live. Thank you again, guys. This is Lisa, shedding love and light. You guys enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you Monday. Bye for now, guys.